Hello, Twilight Struggle fans. Thank you for tuning in for today's game between Anton Skott and Ryan Pindulic. It's an OTSL quarterfinal game, and before I get to that, I just want to say thank you to JR. JR is just subscribed. I'll give me some Jeff Bezos money. He's a great player, a great streamer. You should check out his channel if you haven't already. Not only that, he's a great member of Junta and an administrator for ITSL. So JR, pretty much the greatest guy in the world because he subscribed. JR, you're the best. All right, now let's get on to this one. So Anton and Ryan are quarterfinalists in OTSL. Anton is the number 3 seed, Ryan the 6th. Anton is selected to play the USA first. This is the first game of a best of 3. And Anton with a pretty good hand here. He's got high ops. By my count, call it 20 ops. But not really a headline. So I think US-Japan is as good as any. I got 2 4-ops and no real problem cards, even if he's purged, which would be bad. Korean War is not that big a deal, and in fact, a good card to get out of the deck on turn 1, particularly with US-Japan in hand. So I like the US-Japan headline from Anton, and then we might even see Korean War triggered very quickly. So yeah, giving away a 4-op in the headline is a little bit weird, but the other thing is a US-Japan headline does stop. It means Vietnam doesn't give domination right away. Oh my goodness, a D-stall headline from Ryan. Wow, we are just okay. This is hot. This is hot, folks. Now Truman is sitting in Anton's hands, so we'll see if Ryan goes France. All right, so chatters, we've got 2 viewers already. Looks like Anton and JR. Where are you going with this D-stall? DEFCON 5 turn 1 headline. Where are you going to go with this D-stall? Yeah, France birthed the turtle. Lao birthed the turtle. Although Lao doesn't give Asia Dom anymore, thanks to the US-Japan headline. Certainly, I got to think we're going to see Chile here. That'll certainly be one of them. But yeah, wow. Turn 1 D-stall headline. Okay, here we go. Ryan goes Thailand, France, and 2 South America. Takes Thailand and spreads out. Okay, now Ryan has Asia Dom and he's got the one in France. Now France is realignable. It's also Trumanable, but if you do that, you are giving up an Asia Dom. So let's see. Okay, interesting. Anton decides to take a coup of Lao and rolls big on it with a 3-op. He didn't take a chance. Didn't take any chances. Rolled big with the 3-op instead of going with a 2. But okay, that stops Asia Dom. Now Anton, thinking about South Korea. So before this, I was thinking, well, we got to trigger the war, get it out of the deck. Good chance it fails. We can just take South Korea. Now, though, maybe you space the war. Okay, there goes Independent Red. It's going to go Thailand and 1 Malaysia. Okay, so that's not going to give Dom. And now I think you trigger the war. It misses, and Anton is going to fill that up. Okay, that's a good play from Anton. Rolled a 3 there, so would have failed even without US-Japan. The 2 mill-ops could be a thing that matters. But Ryan with plenty of time left to get his mill-ops. Ryan a little vulnerable here to blockade, but I think he's okay with that. And now Ryan, okay, and there's a coup. Okay, and now France is no longer realignable. Oh my goodness. So Anton just goes for a Thailand coup right away. That gives him Asia Dom, but that also concedes France. A little surprised we didn't see either Truman or some ops in France. So that sets him up well in Asia, but it loses France. Also leaves him vulnerable to a Suez play. Okay, there goes De Gaulle. 1, 2, 3. Thailand, just go ahead and retake it. And now Anton's going to put 2 into France. Okay. And there's a 4-up. Will we see him take France? We will. Okay, so after all that, Ryan gets Thailand and he gets France as well, although he has to give up China to do it. Very interesting turn 1. Also, DEFCON at 3 and Venezuela and Brazil both coupable. We'll see. Maybe Ryan will want to coup Panama here, although Ryan's also going to want to establish presence in the Middle East. He's going to want to overprotect France. Okay, 5-year plan of Cambridge 5. Wow, so he really wanted the extra ops. He used China there. Yeah, okay, a Lebanon coup. You also want to shore up, you want to coup Panama and lower DEFCON 2 protect South America. You want to get presence in the Middle East. You want to overprotect Thailand. You want to overprotect France. There's a ton to do. Okay, overprotect. All right, that makes sense. Now you overprotect both. And now Anton takes Canada to activate NORAD. And yeah, this is a very important NORAD because Thailand's sitting at 1-4. So just a NORAD op and China could flip it. Okay, so here we go with Anton turn 2. This hand not as good, but still okay. Still got 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 ops, so right about average for an early war hand. Of course, he's got China. Blockade and decall potentially a concern, particularly with Purge around. But if Blockade gets purged here, we will simply see we can see NATO discarded and then China played, and then Ryan can hold decall. Yeah, that's interesting. So a duck. I don't know if I like duck. You do lose Thailand. So you headline duck. Ryan coups Panama. That locks in South America. But it loses Thailand unless we see purge. Okay, there goes Asia. Okay, DEFCON now at 4. So this way Anton gets mill ops. And of course he saves 2 ops. The 2 ops of duck. Yeah, Anton gonna get, special relationship. That's important. That's actually incredibly important. Now I wonder. Okay, all right. I mean, that's fine. I wonder if we might see Ryan coup again, and then Anton gets France because of NORAD plus Truman. But of course, Ryan probably wouldn't coup because he doesn't have a good target here. With Panama emptied, he's unlikely to coup South Africa just to stop the coup. And Ryan's a good player. He knows about Truman. He knows Truman's a card in this game. So, okay. DEFCON is 2, and there we go. So, Middle East unscored, Europe unscored. 5-year plan gone. And there goes Nasser, an AR too late. Ryan decides to headline Asia over Nasser. Probably the right call, given that Thailand was flippable. But he does lose out on Libya. Yeah, 1. Suez potentially being worth an event. That's interesting. Okay, but the two players, so Venezuela and Brazil, both sitting there at 2. I wonder if we're going to see some even realigns at any time. Okay, and Ryan giving Marshall something that I always hate to do in the early war, but I hate it a lot less if I have France. Just accept that I've got that I'm not going to get domination, and just that Europe is a draw. Okay, and there goes a Pakistan flip from Anton. Still Algeria just sitting out there. There goes Europe. Nobody wants Algeria. Nobody wants Algeria. The two players fighting in Asia, which is scored. Anton doesn't have the ops to take Algeria anyway. There goes Fidel. Algeria? Yes. Okay, Ryan does take it. Now Truman. Yeah, India's probably fine. Okay, here we are, turn 3, a Europe redraw. Containment. I think this is a no-brainer containment hand here. No chance you're getting dominated in Europe. Can space D, call UN, sock govs, although Purge is around, so that makes containment even better. Now that lets you space D, call UN, sock govs. This is one of those containment hands that's good with or without Purge. It's packed with 2s and 3s. Obviously, you get a handful of 1-ops, you think containment's bad, and then you get purged. But I believe Ryan has purged, and it is known. And I believe Ryan also has defectors. So if we are going to have... So I suspect we'll see a purge here. Ryan does know about containment as well. So maybe we won't see that. Maybe we'll see something a little more nefarious. So I think, yeah, your known cards at least. So maybe CIA. I believe CIA in Ryan's hand. Chat can help me out here. Yes, Middle East. So Middle East is Dom here, and he's going to go CNS instead of Purge. That was known as well. So that's 2 VPs. And now we should see CIA, but we may see a CIA hold because I don't think Ryan probably wants to go up a 2-op coup. We may see CIA held to the mid-war. Yeah, giving up a contained CIA followed by NORAD seems really bad. Yep, and that's exactly right. Ryan needs a 3 here. He'll get it. Okay, so big roll there for Ryan. Now, Anton is contained here, so he can fight Middle East. So we should see 2 Iraq from Ryan. Now, if I were Anton, I would absolutely, and assuming Ryan fills Iraq here, I would absolutely fill Israel. Yeah, there goes Defector is going to fill Iraq. And I absolutely would fill Israel here if I were Anton. That is normally not a country that gets filled in the early war, and rightfully so. But I would want to fill it to make Ryan spend 3 in Saudi and distract him from potentially filling up South America. But, okay, Anton going to give Ryan the opportunity to get out of Middle East for free. And there is Purge. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 Saudi. Okay, so it's a moot point. Ryan's going to fill it up anyway. And Anton... That's interesting. Okay, Ryan does not know about Europe in Anton's hand. I think I would have just gone with the more straightforward play of filling Israel, but I guess Anton does have 3 ARs left, and he wants to get to Cameroon. Okay, well, if that's going to be the play, then this will be special. Doing the same darn thing. Oh. Okay, so we're not going to get to Cameroon here. And there goes Middle East. Oh, and an Asia redraw. Okay, that's huge. Okay, so Anton gets to Zaire and Guatemala here, does not get to Cameroon, but still Anton needs to click the button here, and there he does. So a nice redraw, but here we are in the mid-war, and Anton in good shape in Central America. Africa looks okay. Ryan did get into South America. Now, what's the turn 4 hand situation look like here? Okay, no power cards to speak of. Duck can't headline, but the Pope is very headlineable. And in fact, this is a great situation for the Pope because Poland is at 5 and Warsaw is gone. So, yep, and as we've mentioned, and as the chat is mentioning as well, CIA is known in Ryan's hand. So a "We Will Bury You" headline with CIA in hand would be nutty. Now, obviously, Ryan does have China. So even a Duck 5-year plan headline working perfectly isn't going to win the game right here. If you're not headlining Duck, it's the Pope. 5-year plan is also a fine headline in itself. But yeah, I think, I guess you do risk the Duck headline. Anton did tell me there were a couple of interesting moments in this game that he would have wanted to hear me talk about. Perhaps this is one of them. The Pope screams out as an obvious headline. It's a card you definitely want to event. Doesn't necessarily need to be in the headline here because I don't think Anton's priority is probably to contest Poland, even with NORAD in effect. So Duck does make sense. 5-year plan makes sense as well. He's going to go with it. Going to hold his breath. No, we will bury you. And there's Missile Envy. So that suggests perhaps Ryan had it. Perhaps Ryan has "We Will Bury You" and did not want to give it. Did not want to headline it. Yep. But okay, here we are, DEFCON 2. So Anton's AR1 play can only be 2 ops. We'll see what Ryan wants to do here. Might see something like Colombia, Saharan States, but I think even then you're probably just cooing whatever Anton coos. Anton, for his part, Che is almost free, but not quite. It does give up a coup in Guatemala. So if I were Ryan, I'd want to get into Argentina. I'd want to get into Saharan States, and I'd want to get into Colombia. All 3 early war regions are scored, so this turn should be all about mid-war regions. Oh, quick China. Gonna jam into South Korea. That makes sense because, and for 2 reasons, obviously. Anton can't take South Korea back, and perhaps Ryan worried about a cultural play, or excuse me, a Nixon or Usuri play followed by 5-year plan. But okay. Anton just going to think about fighting that. And we'll see if Ryan's got a 4-op. There it is. We will bury you. So a guaranteed flip of South Korea, which evens up Asia. It's a little too late for Ryan's taste, but it'll still work. And now Anton has the decision to make. Does he trigger 5-year plan here? No, he doesn't. Tries the realigns instead and comes up empty. All right, well, JR likes the 5-year plan play. Jordan likes the realign, so we'll see. Okay, there's Nixon. So yeah, I suppose it makes sense. You could save 5-year plan for next turn, but you're going to have to space Quagmire, and you're going to have to give OPEC and Suez. Suez not a big deal, but OPEC is 3. If you use it as a 1-op, it's 2. Ooh, that's a tough one. Bear Trap going to space. He'll hit. Now he's got a chance at the double. Yeah, you got to space Quag. This is not a self-Quag hand. Even without NORAD, it's not a self-Quag hand. Formosan, potentially a problem card. Formosan, potentially a problem card later in the game with Asian Battlegrounds tied 3-3. This should be a coup of Colombia, and it is. Oh, and a big roll. So it looks like Anton's going to get Panama, but Ryan will pick up Nigeria. Okay, there goes the EU. And yeah, the Pope could be a nasty little surprise here on AR7. I think, yeah, you get into Panama there. Yeah, just say, I'm fine saving the VP. Yeah, I guess you don't want to put 1 in Panama because that makes it a great coup target next turn, whereas Colombia is not a great coup target, sitting at 5, and you're not going to fill it. You're not going to fill it on AR7 because you have the Pope. And a miss there, a nice Pope event. And here we go. Okay, some scorings here. Africa, which is even, and central, which looks good now, particularly with libs in our hand. But he will want to headline CMC here, I assume, and then a 5-year plan play to, he hopes, win the game with CIA. But yeah, CMC is the no-brainer headline. Jordan makes an interesting point. Putting one into Panama is better because of libs and Junta. So now Junta can just take Panama outright. Libs obviously in Anton's hand. So what are Ryan's outs? Let's talk about them. NTB is around. Oh, that one. Card called How I Learned is around. Salt was there as well. So I think you set DEFCON to 4 here and give CIA. Oh, no, you don't, because you can't. Never mind. You obviously do not set it to 4. You set it to 3 because of CMC. Yeah, you gotta. Without CMC, you set it to 4, so you get a coup back in Africa. But with CMC, it has to be 3. And there it is. Okay, ABM has also got grain in his hand. Yeah, temptation may have been for Ryan to headline ABM, take DEFCON to 4, place rather than coup, and then give CIA. But that would not have worked because of CMC. So Ryan anticipating that. And maybe he just wants to use ABM for a coup, and that's that. Okay, Anton just needs a 3 to get domination in Africa, and he'll get it. Anton now with Africa Dom, unless we see a Cameroon coup here, which is an entirely reasonable play. We might also see Chile to take South America control. And Ryan with ABM known in his hand now, so I suspect if Anton does anything other, if Ryan does anything in anything other than coupping Cameroon, then Anton should score Africa immediately. Yeah, Ryan wants to have his op before. Ryan wants NORAD to trigger before his op, so he has the one op to respond. But that's not how the game works, and so Ryan has to go into Thailand to prevent it from being flipped. I would score Africa right here. I guess Anton not worried about it because if Nigeria gets couped, he can just fill up South Africa. So, okay, puts the second in Nigeria. Oh, okay, thank you, JR. JR reminding us that Ryan cannot coup with ABM. So, of course... that's good to know. So ABM, still a valuable card, but perhaps a card that's going to get held until it can be used for a coup. So, yeah, Ryan, of course, is going to be dominated in Africa, and it's just going to be a question of when does Anton want to drop that scoring. 5-year plan, potentially pulling ABM might be nice. A for P is not going to be an event here, I don't think. I'm fine just dumping Africa. It's not going to get better. Even though it's not going to get worse, it's also not going to get better. You could put the 2 in South Africa, but it's 2 ops for 1 VP. I don't know that you want to do that. I think you'd rather use those ops, maybe filling up Southeast Asian countries, contesting Poland, maybe even getting into Israel. Muslim revolution, now a real problem for Anton. Okay, and there goes Poland and an overprotective South Korea. Chat speculating that perhaps Anton is hanging on to 5-year plan to use on AR-7 to snipe ABM, which he suspects is going to be held. Brezhnev also needs Brezhnev on AR-7. So, okay, there goes Grain to space. He will hit the roll. A little confused by the use of China there. I don't think we need China. And I'd be fine going Guatemala here. I think we would rather have the 3 ops of... yeah, I think this is fine. Obviously, you want to get Central off. Okay, there goes Allende. So you want to get Central off. Yeah, take your 5 from there. I don't think we need to get fancy and go into Cuba. Okay, Ryan. And now I guess... Yeah. Okay, so you got... So I guess if you had gone into Cuba... Yeah, so I kind of missed that. But if Anton goes into Cuba, scores control, that gives him 15 instead of 12, and then he could play alliance for another 3. Okay, and there goes cultural. Now this will clearly be Brezhnev. Yeah, and Ryan having to overprotect a lot of stuff. So, yeah, this NORAD is causing him some problems. Now everything except South America is scored, and Ryan really needs it to come on turn 6. So both of the bad Angola cards are out there. So 1 Angola makes sense here, I think. 1 Philippines makes sense here with Southeast Asia unscored. Yeah. So 1 Venezuela is not crazy at all here. That preps for Panama and also, makes NORAD better. Now, Junta is a extremely likely headline next turn, so making that less important. But okay, Anton's going to take Philippines and Afghanistan. So, okay. Yeah, that was an interesting sequence there. Fidel is coming around. And, Anton didn't want to waste the 3 ops, so instead just went for the more traditional play. So, okay, here we are, turn 6. So this is a clear Kennedy hand, of course. You get Junta. Kennedy won't be the headline. I think that'll be Junta. I think it's still just Junta into South America, and it's just taking Argentina, Junta, and coup. I don't think there's any reason not to do that, and then you can get rid of some stuff on AR1. Yeah, it's just an easy junta. JR points out correctly that a junta and successful coup on Argentina, if for some reason Ryan doesn't take Dom, which he definitely will, you can then hold Anton says this is the worst NORAD ever. I don't agree. I don't agree. This, even though NORAD hasn't flipped any battlegrounds, it has forced Ryan to spend a ton of extra ops protecting stuff from NORAD. Yeah, okay, so Brazil over Argentina, that makes sense. I guess I was thinking about Argentina because of playing defense. I was worried about Brazil getting realigned, but we can get our realigns in first if we hit the roll, and we missed the roll, so it doesn't matter. Should be just 3 right back into Brazil. I don't think there's a pressing need to use VOA right away. So I think this is just, yeah, Salt for influence, and this should just be Kennedy right now. I think PCR is fine to dump. Yeah, yep, that's exactly what I was saying. NORAD hasn't done much, but Ryan has had to take extraordinary measures to make sure it doesn't do much. Countries are needing to be overprotected that ordinarily do not need to be. Okay, PCR, Kitchen, South African, South America, gunman, you hold only voice, and this is going to make Ryan very sad. Yeah, there's no reason to wait on Kennedy. Just go ahead and do it now. I don't think you need Panama. I would discard it because it's a one-op in hopes of drawing brush. But okay. Okay, you get one small step, which could be an event. Obviously, Usuri is good. Sadat is probably worth an event. And then Muslims is a great hold card. Muslims is a great hold card because that would be an issue for Anton. Okay, there goes Southeast, which is even. No, hold that. Okay. Okay, realigns, hits, not quite enough. Anton going to put Usuri back in the deck. I'd be absolutely triggering one small step. I don't think Botswana is that important. He does need his mill ops, I guess. But I like the idea of just eventing one small step. Getting to headline peak, activating Star Wars, and putting pressure on Ryan to get to Space 4 as well, making it so he can't Space 2s. Okay, there goes VOA, a little bit of an early VOA. It's also turn 6, so everything is scored. So Ryan needs to refill Iraq and Saudi here. Okay, everything's overprotected again, so just a 4-op can repair. I would be eventing this, I think. Especially because you spaced Muslims. I would have held Muslims, and if you hold Muslims, maybe you don't need to do that. Okay, and there we go, and here we go, turn 7. One small step redraw. And a VOA redraw as well. Ryan does get brush. CRG gives us Africa Dom in the headline and threatens Thailand as well with NORAD. But yeah, I think CRG is the headline. So if you're Ryan, what's your brush target? Is it Panama? Is it Libya? I guess the one good thing about leaving Skott in the deck instead of eventing it is you are is Egypt would be a good brush target if you triggered it. But not triggering it means I think Ryan will leave it alone. Okay, we will bury you headlines. So 3 quick VPs for Ryan, and he's going to be able to repair this. Alliance is 2, so he's going to give 2 back. This should just be... Now, we will bury you also deactivates NORAD for the turn. Yeah, that does make sense. Take another non-battleground in Africa. So that just taking back South Africa and Botswana doesn't give Ryan Dom. South African, I believe that was a redraw. You need a huge roll here, and even if you get it, I guess, I mean, he did need his mill ops, so okay. That was the only mill ops target. Okay, he's going to go with the realigns at +3, and he hits one. Where's the next one go? Zaire, and that misses. I would be fine with a space here. I think you space, miss the roll. All right, I think I'm still eventing one small step to stop headline peak. Special for the poke. If that card was known, Ryan maybe could have overprotected the UK. Okay, there goes PCR at long last. That was held over from turn 6. And there goes Brush. What's it going to hit? It's going to hit Panama and miss. Solid 1. JR, glad you're watching. Yeah, I'm fine just triggering this. And there goes Fidel finally, coming in a little too late for Ryan, but and there's our AR7 VOA. Is VOA not that effective without NORAD? Oh, and we got a monster. Wow, what a hand here. We've got a couple of 4-ops. We've got Chernobyl, Asia scoring, which is our best scoring right now. De Gaulle is free. We've got Aldrich, which we can hold to next turn. This is a very nice hand. Yeah, that is a good point. That I hadn't thought about. Chernobyl's almost always thought of as a Europe card, and you could use it in Europe here. Absolutely could flip over Poland, but yeah, Chernobyl in Asia, and then you could potentially take Asia control and just win the game that way. So you'd have to give up board position elsewhere, and so it might not be worth it. But I you know, the conventional choice here is just take a nice purge. Then Ryan can't even space threes. Okay, there's decall. That would have made Asia control a little tougher. So Asia right now, I believe it's 3 battlegrounds to 2, so that's 5. Plus Afghanistan makes it 6. Taking North Korea would make it 8. Yep, Ryan gets rid of Star Wars immediately because it wouldn't have been spaceable. And there goes NORAD. I don't know that you need to flip Thailand. Okay, coup of Venezuela misses. So there's talk in the chat about Asia Control. It's too bad Ted's not watching. But Asia Control is going to require 5 ops in North Korea, 5 ops in Thailand, and then another 7 in South Korea. So that's going to require 17 ops. Oh boy, Purge means that's unspaceable. Both players miss on their space rolls. And at this point, I don't think Anton is going to spend the 17 ops required to get Asia control. There goes Middle East. Okay, so Ryan gets 3 VPs there. Yeah, the chat is talking about breaking presence. That's going to require 2 in South Korea, 2 in Thailand, and 4 in Vietnam for 8. Ryan so far hasn't made use of his Chernobyl play. Now, obviously, he has made use of it because Ryan has not been able to take North Korea back and stop Dom. But even if he did that, Ryan could take Taiwan and still score the Dom. That okay? There's a VP for Anton on the defectors play. Ryan's got to get his mill ops, and now we will see, presumably, yeah, Zaire's realignable. That's got to be Zimbabwe. Okay, and then we'll take the... Okay, there goes Omit. Yeah, Missile Envy. Africa is good. Reformer OPEC definitely will go. And that's very nice for Anton. And Anton up to 17 VPs. Europe and South America and Gunmen are not the cards that he wants, but he has Aldrich. The only problem is Aldrich can only discard one of them. He also doesn't have a card he can space. So this, as good as Anton's hand was last time, this hand is terrible. Unfortunately, he has Terrorism in his hand, and so he can use Aldrich to discard Gunmen without fear. Okay, what's Che going to do? Che is going to, okay, yeah, get the Colombia and Guatemala. Oh, okay. Well, with solidarity and a coup from Ryan, you could see China played in Europe here to end the game if he can get the scoring off there. Yes, the could space China. Yeah, if Ryan does not coup, yeah, I think you'll see him give Gunmen so that Aldrich can then dump South America. That makes perfect sense. If he does coup, Ryan will take his NORAD up and put in Poland. I think you just use China. Oh, yeah, he's in space. Okay. So instead, just going to use China right here and force a response from Ryan. Missile Envy taking Aldrich would be epic, but Anton dumped it with Omit. Europe is enough. So, congratulations to Anton. He wins game 1 of this series. I think game 2 is coming up tomorrow. So we'll see if Anton streams that one, or maybe he'll send it over to me and I can stream it after the fact. But either way, this was an interesting game. Some definitely some interesting moments, and a couple of monster hands from Anton, particularly that turn 8 hand, and that did it for him. So he gets over the VP track, even though he did have 3 domination. Ryan did have 3 domination on the board, so the game perhaps closer than the final score might indicate. But ultimately, Anton gets the scorings he needs when he needs them, and his terrible hand doesn't do anything bad to him. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I think I'm going to play a banter game against Jordan. We're talking about doing that maybe now-ish or in a little bit. So I might be back for that. But until next time, it's Justin Abramson signing off. That was fun. But now, it's done. So long, everybody.